Welcome to Around the Reel with your hosts, Aaron Carlson, Charles Lawson, and Samantha Hanna. Ah, shit. Here we go again.
So answer a quick question, everybody.
Yes.
Oh, God.
What is a strange, simple pleasure you have in your life? And I don't mean like, I'm chasing my dream. We know we all trying to do that. What's a simple pleasure you don't realize you really enjoy until it's done and you're like,
A simple pleasure until it's done and it's over. Watching chiropractic videos. It's awesome. I love watching those ASMR stuff. I get the warm tinglies in my belly, and it makes me my nipples get hard. They do, and then I get really cozy, and like within 5 minutes, I want to fall asleep. It's the most relaxing thing. In fact, everybody should go and just grab one of those videos and just watch one of them.
He picks them because he picks the ones with the chicks with the hot
No,
asses and
Yeah, that's the
hot
bonus.
girls, yeah.
That's the bonus.
See, I got nervous when he said his nipples were hard, and then he wanted us to grab something.
I got nervous too, so yeah, that's nerve-wracking right there.
Wait, my nipples being hard?
Yeah.
It's a real thing. It happens. Who in here has never had their nipples get hard? See, I don't see anybody's hands raised.
I just
Okay,
made mine
thank
get
you.
hard, so
You know what I
I was
mean?
like, how am I doing? I'm doing all right today. I'm doing too hard. Sam, okay, how about you? Simple pleasure.
Sam's nipples get hard, trust me.
That's not my simple pleasure. Or
Okay,
my-
what is your simple pleasure?
Okay, what is? Jesus, I don't know.
They're simple things.
Simple things.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that song. Simple things.
Simple pleasure for me.
Okay.
Lines.
Lines.
And I don't mean doing cocaine. I'm talking about lines like
Lines
when
at
you
the
finish
store?
mowing the lawn. When you perfectly vacuum
That's a
a
good
room
one.
before
Actually-
somebody goes walking through it and fucks it all up.
Yeah, the lines. That's a good one, actually.
That's a simple pleasure.
Our dog likes to walk behind the lawnmower and take a fat shit in the fresh grass that we've mowed.
Well, you know why?
That's what's cool.
They can get lower. I watched my
Without
dog
tickling
almost
their
fall
butt?
forward before I finally mowed the lawn this year.
You know,
Because she's like sitting there trying to take a shit and the grass is a foot and a half tall and she's like,
No one needs their butthole tickled. That's why.
so is that a simple pleasure for you? Do you like having your butthole tickled?
No.
if it is, I've never done it. Maybe one of those
Yeah.
Mexican guys you were
No.
with.
Maybe that's why you don't know what your simple pleasure is. Nobody's tickled your butt.
Wait, why did you say that, Aaron? That's so funny.
I said maybe those Mexican guys you had a
You're
kid
so
with.
racist. That's what he would
Oh,
say.
geez. Speaking of racist.
Hey, Chuck. Oh, what?
No.
Nice segue.
Martin, yeah, this is a great segue. This is how we do it.
This is how we do it.
Especially in the beginning of our show, because who gives a fuck? Let's just do it. This week I found out, guys and gals, that black people can't be racist.
Oh, yeah.
They
can't be.
Like they physically and emotionally can't be.
Yeah.
For some reason, apparently from what I've heard,
Even learned this at school.
yeah, that black people can't be racist.
Yeah.
So,
Did you guys know that?
did anybody know that? This came from a middle school track coach.
Okay.
Okay. Now
And remember, audience, I'm black, so
have you ever seen the conversations that have been had? Let's just go with movies.
okay.
Let's go with movies, so
Okay.
we don't get sued.
Yeah.
When a group of black people enter, say, an Asian ran corner store establishment.
Oh yeah. What do they call it? A gook store.
It's not right, but it's not a necessarily good interaction. Going off of movie history.
Sure.
Yeah. So how can that? Okay, so how's that not? How are they not racist? That doesn't make sense. It's
We
one
don't
person's
know.
thought about one other
this
thing.
is
He sat them down instead of running and doing
Oh.
exercises. She sat them down and taught them
yes.
about racism.
Yeah, and she in
And how
fact
black people cannot be racist.
Martin, she in fact is a black lady. Isn't that ironic? That she would think that black people can't be racist. One of the white kids on Eva's team
Said he hated white people.
said he hated white people. She sat everybody down for a half hour and told them about racism and said that every other nationality and culture across the board, Asians, Mexicans, white people,
Be careful how you say what you're saying.
yeah, we're all
All of them.
we're all racist, but black people weren't.
Maybe she was talking about just the traditional American racism against anybody of color,
I don't know what she was trying to say. It just didn't make any sense. Every kid, she was like, I guess she asked all the kids on the team, who here thinks that black people can be racist? Please stand up. And a majority of the team said, oh, yeah. They all stood up. These are middle kids. You know why? because they're probably thinking, yeah, they're people. They can probably do
Exactly,
exactly
right.
what everybody else does. Yeah, of course. This lady said no. It took me like so much when I heard this not to go back and want to cuss this lady out.
Well,
I
I
mean-
wanted to cuss her out since the beginning
Yeah,
of the track.
and she doesn't know that our daughter has a black father. She has no idea because our daughter is mixed, so she looks white. She just got some curls, but other than that, you would never know she was really, part black.
No.
But I know that if she saw me, she'd probably change her tune
Yeah,
Because
but
you're a
that's
racist. Because you're a
yesterday.
racist black
because I'm a
guy.
racist black.
That's exactly true.
Man, how stupid is that?
you
How
cannot-
dumb is that?
You cannot be considered racist if you happen to hate everyone. That's not the
Oh,
same
that's
thing.
that's a good point.
That is
Oh,
true.
yeah, okay. So I guess I'm not racist.
Yeah, you're not racist at all. Yeah, I'm a bigot as
Yeah.
fuck. Then I hate him.
Wait, a bigot isn't a bigot something different?
I don't know. I like that word though.
No, it's not good.
Bigot?
Yeah, you don't want to be one of those. That's like one of those.
He doesn't want to be an asshole either, but you've made the whole planet think that he is.
I mean, because he is. He just doesn't like to admit
We'll
it.
change
That
my
doesn't
name
mean
to
he's not.
Bigot Aaron. Oh, by the way,
No,
I kept
you
our.
don't want.
Aaron Bigot
No.
Carlson. There
Aaron
you go.
Bigot.
It's just, he's
That
ABC.
is so
It's
bad.
easy as 1, 2.
Do you not know what a bigot is?
Yeah, it's something to do like a bigot, someone who's got prejudicial tendencies.
Prejudice against who, though?
Yeah. I don't know, honestly. I would assume
Do
a
you
bigot
know?
across
No.
the board is the
Do you?
same.
No, I got to check my handbook to see
Yeah.
the difference between a racist and a bigot.
Yeah.
Okay, isn't a bigot against women?
No, it's a misogynist.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That one I know.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding.
Oh, of course you do.
Let's play the next round of the game.
Okay, well, you know
He's
what?
not just the
I'm
president,
grabbing the
he's also a
phone, and I
client.
don't care if it creates static. We're looking up bigot.
Yeah, look it up while we sit here and chat about
What's
that.
the difference between bigot and racist?
Okay, and even was like, Dad, I don't know what was going on. It was weird. And I'm like, did you raise your hand and be like, Coach, shouldn't you be coaching track right now? Like, you know what I mean? She was like, no, Dad, I don't want to get in trouble and not be able to run into me. I'm like, oh, yeah,
Smart
good
kid.
point, good point. That's some bullshit.
A person who
That's
is
weird.
unreasonably attached to a belief, opinion, or faction, especially one who is prejudiced against, antagonistic
Yeah.
toward a person or people on the basis of their membership or a particular group.
Dude, I am a bigot.
So you said unreasonably, so that means racist. I'm glad that we cleared that up.
You can fix racism. You can't fix bigotry.
Okay, so now we all know
Thank you,
what a
Sam.
bigot is.
Yeah, don't tell me people can't learn something from this shit.
That's right.
Oh, we teach all kinds of things.
We don't fuck around.
We teach all about the Urban Dictionary. If you listen to all our episodes, you'll be an Urban Dictionary.
Master. Yeah, yeah.
I still don't remember half the answers we've gone through.
I
on the
never
show.
know.
would. She could give us the same ones and I still wouldn't get them.
I know.
I was about to do that just
Oh,
to see if you guys picked
You're
up
such
on
a
it.
dick.
Wait, who's the dick?
No, I'm an asshole.
Me, remember? Bald, white guy. I have a dick head, so I'm the dick.
That is true.
Well, that is true.
I'm the dick. Aaron's the asshole, and Sam's the vagina. So we have the whole parts covered.
Can we get to the guest? Because you guys
Yes,
suck.
yes,
and you always
we
talk
can.
about
I keep trying to segue into Martin, but you keep talking about bigots and racists. I really don't want to jump him in on that.
Me?
Well,
It's not
Well,
me.
stop. Let me stop and look up.
I thought that was part of the introduction.
that is pretty
That's
much
right.
it is.
Welcome,
Yeah,
please
basically it is.
welcome Martin Lewis, a bigot, racist, and supporter of changing your couch off.
Martin Lewis,
Yes, sir.
thanks for joining us today, man.
I am so glad you guys invited me.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. And welcome everybody to Around the Reel.
Welcome to Around the Room.
Shit's all fucking-
Your screen?
Yeah.
No, your screen's fine.
You know what?
Trust
Your-
me.
Your screen
Trust
looks
me.
fine.
I edit
Maybe
our
it's
stuff.
your eyes that are fuzzy.
No, it's
Yeah,
not
you're
my
good.
eyes on it.
You look good. You're good.
Anyway. Well, I have my fuck hat on, so.
Yeah, that's badass.
Shouldn't it be fuck it?
No, it's
No, fuck.
just fuck.
Just fuck.
You don't want to fuck it?
You're not gonna fuck your hat, Chuck.
I saw a sweatshirt on TikTok that I needed.
Only if it has Aaron's badass picture on it.
Yeah.
No,
like
no,
at
no,
our
no.
website at cccentertainmentgroup.com.
No.
Just go to
Grab a
cccentertainmentgroup.com.
t-shirt for badass Aaron Carlson.
And it's not badass Aaron Carlson. It's be badass.
I
He's
know, it's
promoting
but my face is on
badassery,
it, yeah.
which is better than promoting bigotry or
But his
misogyny
face is
or
on it, so it
racism
ruins-
or any of that kind of
It
stuff.
doesn't ruin it. It doesn't ruin it. It makes it work.
ruins it.
I can't wait to see. I want to see like 20 white guys wearing my shirt. That'd be bad.
I doubt that's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
No.
Just give it a minute. You watch.
Okay.
You watch. It's gonna be cool.
Colby's
yeah.
going to start a trend.
Yeah. Yeah. That'll trend. Yeah. And you see Martin up there and going down a red carpet. One of his premieres wearing my shirt. It'd be cool as fuck.
I would be happy to do that.
See what I'm saying?
No
Dude? You're
way.
badass.
No way.
Be cool. Sorry, Sam. All right, Martin.
So bad.
let's get into it a little bit. So,
Let's get into it.
Martin, who the hell are you? And what do you do, my man?
Currently, I am an independent filmmaker and sort of stumbled into that. Was a singer for a long time in original bands.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, singer and songwriter. And so initially I had transitioned into doing voiceover work.
Okay.
And when I wanted to get serious about it, I found an agent. And matter of fact, it was the same agent that Raymond Power had at the time.
Okay.
And they basically said, well, there isn't enough voice work in Seattle to really keep you busy, so you need to do on-camera stuff as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of made that leap and did it, and eventually started a production company, and we did a feature film that I co-wrote and co-directed with Ben Kearns,
Okay.
who is a teacher here in the Seattle area. He teaches people how to make films, and it was a hell of a good time.
Dude, that's badass. When did this go down?
Over the last 3 years, the plague kind of put a crimp in our style.
Plague, disease, mayhem. Sunday. Oh, sorry.
That what was the name of the movie?
The movie's called The Office Job.
Okay. All right. And you wrote and directed this thing. Is that right?
Yeah, co-wrote, co-directed.
Okay.
Yeah, made costumes, got food together. So that's the thing about being an independent filmmaker is I hate when people rattle off the list. Oh, writer, director, actor, producer. Just saying independent filmmaker means, yeah, you've done everything.
You've done everything. You're right. You're absolutely right. I know. And that's just like on the credit roll when you make a movie. You're like, I can't keep putting my name
Oh,
on
Aaron,
everything.
you love to put your name.
Well, I didn't say I didn't say I didn't mind doing it. I
I'm
just
surprised
said
you're going to put your
make you
face
feel-
next to it.
We still have
It just
5
feels
minutes of credits.
You know
when
what?
we
That's a
had
good
4
idea.
people making a movie.
No.
Imagine putting my face
No.
behind every credit.
No.
Just pop it right there. Sound design. Aaron Carlson, see my picture go up. Yeah, right? No, that's cool. That is cool. Okay, so what got you started in filmmaking? You said you stumbled into it. How did that occur?
Basically, it was because of where we live. I've been here for 13 years now. There isn't a whole ton of voice work, and especially what I do, I don't like commercial stuff.
Okay.
I'm much more of a character guy, and there really isn't a whole heck of a lot of character stuff to do up here.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of being forced into the on-camera stuff. And there isn't a ton of production work up here, at least there wasn't 3 years ago. I mean, things are going to get better.
Yeah.
But I decided to start this production company and use all the actors that were in our boot camp
Mm-hmm.
and put together a film.
Okay. All right. I got you. That's cool.
That is cool.
Did you study film at all, or voice acting, or have any course direction of any type?
Yeah, I did. I went to school 100 years ago at Temple University. I studied radio, television, and film.
Okay.
And that's back when film was actually using film.
Yeah.
So, but I ended up leaving Temple and not graduating because I was stupid and decided to let life get in the way.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
Yeah, and that, became a dad and all that, and just changed my life.
Oh wait, you had sex then with somebody?
At least once.
Oh, okay,
yes,
good.
That
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
prove.
Okay.
Manpower. Manpower.
I tell you, Father's Day.
Did you
is
do a swab?
Father's Day is the scariest day of the year for me because I have no idea where all the cards and letters are coming from. Fucking terrifying. Absolutely.
Okay, so you got a family. You're a filmmaker.
Yes.
You make movies.
Yes.
And you dealt with the plague like we all did.
But wait a
And
second,
I
you
like
made-
the plague. I like that word.
Yeah.
It's a fun word.
You made a movie called Office Job in the middle of a pandemic when everybody was staying home.
When no one had an office.
Talk about timing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great timing. It's great timing.
Can I rent your office space since ain't nobody fucking working?
No, it's perfect actually. Yeah, that's super smart. That's
That
super
is
smart.
smart.
I have not seen the film yet. I apologize.
That's all right.
Is it available?
Yeah, we have it on
Damn,
YouTube
shit,
right
fuck.
now.
Oh,
It's okay.
God damn. Sorry. Shit. Fuck. Sorry. God.
I
Sorry.
have no excuse.
Sam. Sorry. Aaron. Yeah. Whatever.
No, I know. I wanted to watch it too. I saw the trailer for it, but I didn't get a chance to watch it before the show. But I will. Okay, so what is the premise of Office Job? What's your story?
The premise of Office Job is basically The Godfather meets The Internship.
Oh shit, that's gangster. Okay.
Okay.
Because one of the things I found about getting older is when you have to go out there and get a new job, you're competing against people that are half your age.
Right.
And so I wanted to make a movie about that, just the cultural differences between the generations. But I thought, man, that's really boring. You know, who the hell would want to watch that?
Right.
So I came up with the idea of having two dopey-ass mobsters who wanted to decide they wanted to go straight.
Okay.
So they wanted to get regular jobs.
Oh, that's
I already
badass.
love
It's
it.
badass.
I
No.
love it.
So they're going into a world they don't understand.
Okay.
Their former boss, who is in jail, decides to send a hitman after them because he thinks that they ratted him out, and that's the reason why their entire crew was picked up.
Oh.
Yeah, so I've got costumes. I mean, there's one scene where I dress up in a koala outfit. And,
He's a furry, everybody.
What?
Martin Lewis.
Everybody needs a
Furry.
hobby.
That's right. That's right.
At least yours is warm and cuddly.
Yes.
Dude, that's a great. Is it action comedy kind of thing?
There's a little bit of action.
Okay.
But mainly it's just a stupid comedy.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it.
And we've been pretty lucky on the film festival circuit. We've had more than 24 selections,
Mm-hmm.
about a half dozen wins in different categories. So it's been terrific.
That's good for you. That's badass.
That's awesome.
I think my cousin Vinny right away.
Oh man, that was a great movie.
I know. That's where I go right away when you start talking about it. I'm like, oh, it's like my cousin Vinny. It'll be fun.
So where can everybody
Good stuff.
find the movie right now?
67films.com.
67films.com.
That's where the link is.
Drop that in the subliminal messaging, 67films.com.
Making movies is one of the things that I couldn't live without.
Mm-hmm.
Is it something in you that feels the same way?
I definitely have a need to tell stories,
Okay.
and I'm glad to see that running, trickling down to my son, who's 14,
Okay.
and he's special needs, and he's just an amazing kid, and he was always a great writer. And recently, for one of his projects, I can't even remember which class it is, but he had to do a horror trailer.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and when he told me about the project, I was like, oh wow, all right, cool, I can help you with that. You know, we got all this stuff, and he just went, did it all himself. You know, wrote it, storyboarded it. He got his stepdad to help him hold the camera, and Max played the protagonist, and then he also played the antagonist, which was this shadow creature.
Awesome.
Yeah, but he understood enough about the process to know, okay, well, I can do these shots with this character and then play the other character in the other shots, put them all together. And
Yeah.
So yeah, it was really interesting, and I love the fact that I'm passing that down.
Yeah, that's fucking cool, man.
That is
So did
cool.
he go to you when you were filming stuff and just kind of watch and pay attention, or is he just ask questions? I mean, how did you teach him?
He's the kind of kid where you think he's not paying attention,
Okay.
but hears and sees everything. And so I had him on set quite a bit. And
When you say special needs, sorry to ask,
That's
is
okay.
he like autistic or does he have Asperger's? Or?
he's on the spectrum.
Okay,
And he's got
okay.
ADHD.
Okay.
And it's interesting, when we were first getting him diagnosed, when they're telling us about these things, I'm like, oh wow, that sounds like me, you know. And then to learn that actually this
Yeah.
stuff is genetic,
Yeah.
and that makes a lot of sense. I'm like, okay, all right.
So many people find that
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
through their kids because now they have the tools more to figure that stuff out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I always wondered that, and I know this could sound offensive, but I don't mean it in an offensive way at all.
Disclaimer.
Does anybody ever feel like bad if they have a kid and they know it was like genetic, and then they're like, oh man, because of my genes,
Well,
I
there's
made a
nothing
kid
to really
that's
feel
that has
bad
to.
about. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not anyone's fault.
It's a tricky thing. I'm trying to ask. That's why I said I don't know if it's offensive.
That is kind of offensive.
The way I kind of look at it is, to me, it makes sense that the people that want to blame anything else for it are the people who know in their hearts that, yeah, this is genetic, this is something that I passed on, I can't deal with that fact.
Yeah.
So I'm going to blame vaccines, I'm going to blame whatever.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay. I got you. It's a
Yeah.
tricky thing.
It is. I mean, it is.
Not that it matters. It doesn't really matter. I'm just saying, personally, like, I feel bad if I teach my kid the way to look at life the wrong way, if that makes sense. Like Sam gives me shit, like, why are you teaching our kids that? And I'm like, oh shit. And I feel
'Cause,
bad.
Yeah.
So if you're genetically passing something down that you had no control over, and then you see your kid have to go through something that's a little more challenging than other people had to,
Sure.
Yeah.
does a part of you as a parent go, damn, fuck, why are my genes that way? You know what I mean? Like, fuck.
Well, I don't know. Those kids, they're so smart.
They
and
are.
gifted in certain ways, and then other ways they have troubles.
Yeah.
Like in classrooms maybe or whatever, but they're so smart.
Well,
they're
look at-
smarter than people normally.
Well, he's picking up on movies just by paying
Yeah,
attention
that's
and
what-
watching
that's
his
why
dad. I mean,
asked,
that's
because,
fucking
yeah.
genius.
Yeah, it is genius.
Yeah,
It
it's
is.
not a. I never thought that kind of the challenges that some people face with those kind of issues aren't capable. They're actually more capable in
a lot
other
of
ways. Yeah, they are.
They are.
Huh.
Well, the other thing,
It's
Aaron,
almost
going off
not
of-
even a disability. I don't think of it
I
as
hate
a
that word.
disability.
Right. I
Just
fucking hate that
because
word.
they are, and I have a couple kids in my family that are on the spectrum as well.
Yeah,
so-
yeah.
And they're the smartest.
Yeah,
Like they're
like-
like geniuses in certain areas. They just like numbers, like for days. They
Yeah.
can just
And they don't
their
forget
heads.
shit. They remember
Yeah.
everything.
seriously.
It's amazing, and that's why like Rain Man was so badass. Like that motherfucker knew everything. You're
No,
like,
they are-
Jesus Christ,
yeah.
he's a genius.
yeah.
What were we gonna say, Chuck?
just that he just doesn't understand social cues. But that's like what Martin was saying is the fact that some of the things that we are learning about our children and what they're, we're finding out about them as to whether what level of spectrum on ADHD and all that stuff. Most of our generation is going like, that explains what was wrong with me because nobody
Right.
diagnosed us that.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
But did we
If you could have been
not- we
diagnosed a long
figured
time
it
ago,
out.
Aaron, you couldn't have been given some meds when you were young, and you wouldn't be the way you are now.
Well, here, let's think about this though, because it's another interesting point. And Martin, please jump into our conversations
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
this is just us talking. We were just talking about that, I think, a couple days ago.
Well, were we talking about it when Mike was here? When we were talking
We're talking about
Nathan?
family and stuff?
My cousin
Yeah.
Nathan? Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. It was something weird that we discussed, and I can't remember what the fuck it was now. God damn it! It's so important to know. Oh, it was about the kids nowadays. Like, I think it was our daughter telling us about people having anxiety attacks at school.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I went to school for a long time. I went through elementary, middle school, high school, college. Never once did I see anybody have a fucking panic attack or any kind of anxiety attack. Never. There was no such thing.
There was.
Now,
We
once
just
we
hid it.
start diagnosing people with all these things, now kids nowadays freak out at school and are having anxiety attacks. And I don't know if they're legit or not. They just know it's a great excuse. It's kind of like the CPS. If you touch me, I'm gonna fucking call CPS. Kids do that now. They're using
Can't use
anxiety.
your fucking hands
and
if
all
they're
these other
broken.
things. But they're using these other things now. I think to bullshit their way out of fucking doing stuff they don't want to do, like go to class or show up for that practice that they have to, so they don't have to do the track meet
Maybe
because they're
some of-
scared.
Maybe some of
That's
them.
what I think.
Maybe
Would you
some
stop
of them.
hitting the tables? You're shaking everything.
I get fired
Anxiety
up.
is a very real thing.
It
though,
is.
Aaron.
It's
It
real.
is a very real
It was
thing.
always been here though, but until we labeled it, people just dealt with it.
But
They
let me
didn't
sh-
use it as an excuse.
But
Does that
let-
make sense?
Yeah, let me show you a panic
Makes
attack in
sense.
our
Sort of
age, though.
sense.
Okay, give me.
So back when we were in school,
Yeah.
did you have those girls and those guys who would take off and walk into the woods or go hide in the bathroom and smoke? Did you have those guys and those
Yeah,
girls
yeah,
who would sit there
yeah.
and cut half the classes all day long and never show
Yeah,
up?
and they skip school.
Oh, I
Right, and
was
eventually
one
they
of them,
dropped
but I
out and they
never had a
disappeared?
panic attack.
Yeah, but Sam didn't have panic attack. She just wanted to go kick it.
Right, because you walked away from everything and you did whatever you wanted to do. You
Yeah.
weren't stuck, not feeling like you couldn't leave. Now they have so much more rules and restrictions at school. You can't just disappear.
So now you just
There's
make up something
there's
to
fucking
get out.
people everywhere. No, they're just dealing. They're going with what they're going with, but they don't have their own self outlet
It's-
like we did with just escaping and going to smoke and join or.
It's not as
Smoke a cigarette.
stigmatized now as
Yeah.
it was when we were kids.
Right.
But nerves are nerves. Like when
Sure,
you get
yeah.
butterflies and you feel weird and you're scared and stuff. I mean, that's a normal, natural reaction to an uncomfortable situation that you can learn from. But a lot of people don't like that feeling, so they run from it. They the fight or flight.
Yeah.
They flight.
We got a lot of flights.
They go.
Well-
and I'm
We
like, and
book
now
a-
they have an excuse. And I mean, that's how I kind of look at it. I'm like,
They've
oh my
always
God.
had an excuse. I mean, it's no different than it ever was. It's just that we have more people. It's just there's more of us.
Yeah, we keep saving
There's
everything.
more people. So
Yeah,
we
thanks,
all,
Sam. Keep saving a few more things.
Hey,
When I was
I wanna talk about
15, talk about anxiety and stress and all that stuff.
Okay.
When I was 15, I got an ulcer from
my God.
just the anxiety. And
Yeah.
I had gone from about 170 pounds down to 143.
Okay. And
And
that's something like Chuck might be dealing with. We talked about this earlier.
I went
before
from
the show.
270 down to 238.
Yeah. Just stress in general.
And so the doctors prescribed medication and things like that. But I basically had to teach myself not to care so much about things.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And just that helped with the anxiety. And it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks or
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting though? Like you taught yourself how to deal
Yes.
with it, basically.
Because he had
Do you
to.
think that the kids nowadays don't
Don't.
have to because
Yes, that's
Yeah.
exactly
Is that
what
what
I'm
you're saying
saying.
here?
That's
Okay.
exactly what I mean. They don't
Because
have to
back in the
learn
day, we
to
did.
find a
Yeah,
way.
we did have
You had to learn to
find-
deal with it. There
Yeah.
wasn't this thing where you could go, I'm having an anxiety attack, and they're freaking out, and then everybody feels sorry for them and just coddles them, and you know what I mean?
Well, I don't know about
where
that.
we all at our age had to fucking feel that stuff, and we didn't say anything. We just had to fucking deal with it. We had to deal with it.
And now we're paying for therapy in our late 40s.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, maybe.
Sending my therapist kids to Hawaii.
But we don't. But we still, to this day, we won't
Exactly.
know what's going on right now into our kids until they're our age. So think, 20, 30 years from now, what are the effects they going to have?
Yeah.
No one's going to give a shit, or is everybody going to give a shit because everybody thinks that way? I don't know.
Who knows?
But you know what I mean. But if the world doesn't change and these kids grow up and they think that crying on the job and saying they have a panic attack is going to save them, it ain't. Unless the entire culture changes. Does that make sense? Around them with
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's what's starting.
That's all I'm saying.
That's actually what's starting to happen. The kids that are going into the workforce now are having that issue. They're getting fired. They're realizing
Yes.
that that's not an
It doesn't
excuse
work.
and that people aren't going to buy it,
It
forever.
won't work.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck. Right.
It's interesting.
It
but
is.
there are legitimate disabilities. There are.
There are.
And autism and those sort of things, they are definitely legitimate. But those kids are smart as fuck. I envy those kids.
Yes,
They're
for
so
sure.
smart.
For sure. They really are.
Yeah, my son's mother and I, we used to joke when he was little that if he got lost in the woods, he'd be eaten by wolves because he has absolutely no survival skills and then I realized just recently, and I texted her, I said, well, if he gets lost in the woods, all he has to do is tell the wolves about Minecraft and they will die of boredom.
And he's 14, you said?
Yes.
Okay. All right. How do you feel as a father?
I didn't know what I was supposed to be in my life until he was born.
No shit.
Yeah, and
Dude, that's badass.
one of the things I tell people is, up until that point, I thought I understood what love was, but I didn't really know the depth of love and fear.
Right.
Because you're responsible for this human being, and I going back to kind of what you said earlier, you worry about telling them what to do the right thing, and all that. But I tell my son the opposite. I'm like, anything you see that I've done, don't do that. You follow what your mom does, you'll be fine.
And you'll be good. You'll be good. You'll be solid.
I'm a one-man after-school special. So do not do that.
After these messages.
I'm a do not do what I did too.
Yeah.
So is that
Wait a
your
second.
oldest?
It's an after-school
My only
special.
kid.
So you've only
you're
done
only, okay.
you've only done PG things. So you're an after-school special.
Dude, I am the most. I've never.
I'm like an HBO fucking documentary.
I've never used
Doc
any
drama.
drugs to get high. I could count the times I've been drunk on one hand.
You're badass. Yeah.
I am boring. I make
No,
Clark
I
Kent
love
look
boring.
edgy and dangerous.
No. Oh, you're more,
That's badass.
dude. Because Sam calls me a square bear. What do you call?
Yeah.
What do you call Martin then? Sam?
A welcomed guest.
I don't know, but
Designated driver.
I can't tell you how sexy it is when an adult says something like that. Like,
Oh
I've never
my.
done drugs. I've never really done
Wait,
that shit.
did she say an adult says that?
Yeah.
Sam, I've never done drugs.
I know. That's why. Why do you think that I'm still here?
Oh, okay. So I guess that's her way of saying I'm
I
sexy.
find you sexy.
Oh, all right.
Because you're such a square. No, it is though. Because most people do it.
Do you think?
I'm just saying.
I wonder
yeah.
what the percentage
most
is. You
people
should look that up.
Either drunk or high in some way.
I'm gonna say going by the people in this room. I'm gonna say at least 50%.
You think it's 50?
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
because we have 2 squares and 2.
What drugs have you
What
done?
the-
2 not squares.
Today,
Yeah, I
or-
thought we had 3 squares and 1
Yeah,
not
I
square.
don't know.
I had a very interesting youth.
I don't remember this. I don't remember this.
Oh yeah.
Give me the background on that. I don't
What
remember.
was it?
I don't remember
We
this.
don't know.
When I met you, I never thought I was like.
I
this
did
cowboy
more.
guy.
I did more shit between the ages of 15 to 18 than I did in my adult life. I drank more when I was underage than I did when I was
I've
adult.
heard that from a lot of people.
I found out that I like cocaine too much, especially with the size of my nose.
You did.
So I stuck. So yeah.
What?
So obviously not too much. I was young and I didn't have a lot of money. But yeah, pot. I mean, I avoided things with needles just because I didn't like sharing. But that just goes to my upbringing. I didn't like sharing my toys either.
Gee, no wonder you found Christ.
Yeah. I don't think I found him. I think he found me
Oh.
under a rock. Anyway,
So special. God specifically looked for you and you alone. That's nice.
yeah, thank God. I gave him your address, and he said he didn't have time.
Yeah, of course not. Yeah.
Because I'm here.
No.
But no, yeah, I've done plenty of bad things in my life. There's some things we've talked about, some things we haven't on the air, but lots of things that you should already know.
I didn't know the Cokes, though. What else did you do? Mushrooms? Did you do
I did.
mushrooms?
Oh yeah. Anybody who comes with a baggie of something and says, "Here, this won't hurt you." Okay, when you're
No
young,
shit.
you'll try it. I
didn't.
dropped acid one time, and I watched my buddy turn a sheet of red paper and a sheet of blue paper. Like they're getting ready to like put up like in history class, they're getting ready to put up everybody's projects, right? So there's this giant sheet of red paper and this giant sheet of blue paper. He's like, "Watch, look at the white area in the middle." And he starts swinging his hand around, and the whole fucking wall turned purple, and it fucked up my head.
What the hell?
What
So
the
weird.
hell?
Yeah,
got-
that Bill Nye, he's something, isn't he?
I got so stoned on mushrooms and pot that I had to read somebody else's report in class. And I ended it by looking at it and saying, and it just goes on and on for 3 more pages. And I just fucking walked out of class.
You did this shit at school?
Oh, God, I did most of this shit at school.
What the fuck? Martin, okay, Martin.
Okay.
So you and I are kind of the same in this category. Has anybody ever come up to you with some drugs? Hey, man, you want some?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, yeah, and what did you say?
I would say no.
Yeah.
I mean, the guys in my first band, you would hang out and they would get high and I would just kind of sit there,
Yeah.
you know.
Okay.
I
You
never.
just never had any interest?
No, they did the same thing with me. I
You
mean,
were never curious.
No, because I come from a family that has a lot of substance abuse issues.
Okay.
yep, I did too.
Well,
So yeah,
that's a
I
good reason.
saw that growing up, and I didn't want it to be me. So
Mhm.
I was very, very careful.
Yep.
Good
Yep.
for you.
I was right with you on that. And I would actually try to make them feel bad for even asking. I would do it on purpose to make them feel uncomfortable. Yeah, I fucking hated it. Because
Yeah,
why
it's
would you do
horrible.
that? But hey, Aaron, you want some of that? I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, dude?
Just my brother's
Seriously.
30th birthday party, trying to get Aaron to do a keg stand. A keg stand.
Okay, he's 30.
Which is literally
30
not
years
that big
old.
of a deal. We were all having fun, and Aaron just ruined all the fun.
Yeah, fuck that.
He's just like, oh, fuck you guys. I don't want to be like you. Oh, I'm not going to do it just because y'all want
I
to.
didn't want to do it. It was peer pressure.
It's horrible.
They're trying to
Like, he
peer pressure me.
literally made fun of everybody, and everyone just sat there after.
Dude, I was like 40 years old. They want me to do a cake stand.
I think it's just the physical aspect of doing the keg stand is what you had a problem with.
No, I
you
could
know?
have done
So
it.
what if I
could have
could- what
done
if-
it.
what if I
'cause
can get up there?
Clearly, you don't have a problem with drinking.
No, I could. Yeah, it's drinking is fine. It's just like doing the whole keg stand. It's like, come on, guys. What are we doing that for?
I
yeah,
get
it's-
what you mean.
Actually fun.
should I get a beer
I
hat
don't know.
too and throw that on and be like, woo? You know, it's like jumping my 4x4. I mean, you know what I mean? Come on. It's
There's
like,
there's your answers to why he didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
Now, that's
it's-
not sexy, so...
It was kind of
you
weird.
could-
It was kind of weird. It was kind of weird.
So you're sexy for not
Yeah,
doing
black
lots
guys
of drugs.
don't do keg stands, is what I'm saying. They don't.
you
And
know
I-
what? They could.
No,
and
they don't.
should.
They're way more chill.
I know black guys that have done keg stands.
And then, did they ride motorcycles? Do they ride?
And maybe.
Okay, that's why. That's why. Yeah, it's a certain genre of people. It's a niche audience to do cake stands.
So dumb.
It is. It is. Anyway, but no, I did that in high school too.
When
we
Aaron
go
was,
to parties and stuff,
I'm guessing
I was like, fuck that, no.
when Aaron was making this argument at the party and about not doing a cake stand, I'm sure somewhere in the back of his head he heard because he thinks everybody who wants to do all that backwoods weird shit is just fucking straight out of Deliverance.
That's
No, he
we,
was being an asshole, actually.
the racism we mentioned earlier.
Yeah, and black people apparently can't be racist, so I can't use that as an excuse anymore.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Hey, you guys, you know what? It's time to elevate your projects. Now, as a filmmaker, great sound is vital in your storytelling. Take it from us. Our first feature wasn't too bad for having a zero budget. However, the one thing that I know we could have done even better was having better fucking sound. I'm here to tell you guys about Epidemic Sound. You see, they're a royalty-free soundtrack company that provides a library of over 35,000 songs that you could use in your projects, as well as 90,000 sound effects. That's a shit ton, you guys. They also act as an accelerator for musicians and composers who want to make a living, build an audience, and thrive through their music. If you're a musician or a composer and you've created music, you could actually work with Epidemic Sound, submit your music there, and possibly make royalties on it in the long run. Now that's badass. Now with your monthly subscription, you can have high quality music, sound for your films, YouTube videos, podcasts, TikToks, and so much more. Now use the link in the show notes and start your free 30-day trial today. Now take your shit to the next level. Make your fucking movies. Anyway.
So
I
Martin,
had fun. I
Martin,
did
you
a
make
cake
movies?
stand.
Yeah, Sam did it. She nailed it too. You nailed it. I give you like a
Wait.
10. I put the thing up. I was like 10. Really good. I scored it well.
Did you go up on your own, or did somebody hold your feet?
Somebody
They
held
held
my
the feet,
feet.
yeah.
Okay.
She,
Yeah, I
Safety
can't go
first.
up-
So great,
I
you-
can't go up on my own.
You drank.
Not that good.
You drank upside down. Congratulations. You can be in NASA.
I did it for a long time though.
you did do it.
Iron.
You hung in there.
Yeah, I
you're a
did.
soldier. You're a soldier.
I know how to do a cake stand.
Yeah.
Not on my own. I know how to do one really good.
If you can't be an alcoholic, be an alcoholic supporter.
That's right.
You know, every
Hold
time I
my
think we're
legs.
teaching
Just
people
hold
something on our show, we end up going and saying this kind of stuff. Like, what are we talking about? Oh, it's funny though.
Man,
It's good stuff.
I actually feel bad for today's kids because they have to deal with fentanyl, and that's something
Yes.
that
Oh,
we never had to deal with.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, seriously.
yeah. Sam got
It's
me
scary.
into that
It's
stuff.
really scary.
Yeah, she was.
She got you on fentanyl?
No, I don't mean it that way.
Yeah, that's where I thought he was
like,
going.
I didn't mean it that way. No, I mean
See,
the
I've
topic
never
of
done
fentanyl.
fentanyl.
Yeah,
Some
the
ever.
square bear to high dude.
No, the topic of fentanyl. She follows this YouTuber who actually goes to Sam Kensington.
Kensington.
Yes.
Yeah, we did a show about it.
Yeah.
She was so into it, and seeing the repercussions of, what this is doing to
Well,
people, and
Kensington
it's scary.
is awful.
Yeah, it's
awful.
scary as fuck.
That,
Yeah, it's really scary.
I'm,
brutal.
I'm from Philadelphia.
Okay.
Oh shit.
And actually, the part of the city that I was grown up in is called Fishtown, which is right next to Kensington.
Oh.
And
Okay.
it's funny now. There's all the gentrification and like there's hipster bars and all kinds of stuff, and it just looks nothing like what I remember. But Kensington, I mean, K&A, Kensington and Allegheny. Now it's a nightmare. And
Yeah.
it's horrible.
It's so
dude.
sad.
It's so scary.
sad. People actually drive down Allegheny and Kensington, yeah, both, and you can just see people all bent over. They're just high.
Yeah.
They're like
Fentanyl.
zombies.
And it's not just fentanyl, it's like elephant tranquilizers and
What the
horse
fuck?
tranquilizers that they mix with the fentanyl. That's why they're bent over like that, passed out. Yeah, it's crazy. It's
brutal.
crazy.
Just brutal.
I hate it.
Yeah, it's
Well,
sad.
thanks for taking this conversation
I
to
know,
a more
I know. It went all bad. Well,
turn
it's,
to,
yeah, it's pretty
Our other
sad.
part of the conversation might have been inappropriate, but I felt a little more upbeat, and I'm just like I'm getting bent over. no, not in
Start
Aaron.
rocking
Aaron,
back
don't
and
get.
forth.
No, I didn't get excited.
I'm getting bent over, but don't get your nipples hard.
No,
Well,
it won't
Seattle's
happen.
next. They're getting there.
Oh,
Man,
sure.
this is brutal.
Yeah, I was a security officer for our transit system here, and I was at probably the worst station in all of Seattle. And I would see guys dealing drugs every day, and people on the back stairs were shooting up, and it's horrible.
Now they have to deal with people that are going on the train system and the bus system to get high.
Oh yeah,
So they're in there smoking fentanyl. So the bus drivers have to inhale this stuff.
sure.
And the train drivers and all this. That's the problem now.
That's
that
fucked
they're
up.
having in our state.
It's crazy.
It's pretty bad.
Dude, I used to take the bus to school when I was a kid. And I get the transfer. You get a little transfer. And you rip
Paper
it.
slip.
Yeah, no, you just strip
A
it.
little
and go
different
on.
now.
Yeah, and I was totally fine on the bus. And it was never scary. I was totally fine.
It's really scary now.
Now you're sitting next to fentanyl abusers. And,
Well,
Yeah.
there's like 20 people
Fuck.
passed out all around you. Yeah.
wow.
Depending on what city you live in, a lot of people don't want their kids play in the front yard. It's in the backyard only. That's it.
It's pretty sad.
Remember when you used to ride your bike everywhere?
Dude, I used to. I
You
remember
ride your
getting. You're not allowed to ride over the bridge, honey. Oh, sorry, mom. My bad.
Have you actually been?
Oh yeah, I used to ride my skateboard, my bike over the bridge all the time because I had to go to the. They closed the comic book store in Gig Harbor, so I had to drive to I had to ride my bike to 6th Avenue to look at comics.
Oh, no joke, Chuck. I didn't know that either. See,
I've lived here my
I've learned
whole
2 things
life,
about
and
you
I've
today
Never
that I
been
don't
over the bridge.
That's badass.
Never.
I lost my awesome Caballero skateboard. I wiped out and
Oh,
it went
nice.
out from underneath my feet. I fell actually into the lane of traffic. Luckily, I didn't get crushed by a car, but my skateboard went. It went. Whoo,
Dude, we had divers down there. We
Down-
could have got your
down,
skateboard.
went
Could've
down
got it
like a
back for
leaf.
you.
That shit just kind of just like.
When we did Giant Physical Algorithm, we could have got
could've got
something.
it
Like
back
Peter
for
Bertel
you.
could have got it for you, bro. He was down there.
There you go.
Should have just asked Peter. You see a skateboard down there, it's mine.
Can you get me back to the skateboard?
Golden dragon on the back
Dude, that's no
or
joke.
on the bottom.
How did we get into that?
I
don't
have
know.
no idea,
I don't know,
but-
but that's our conversation. Because we're getting to know Martin. So you're from Philly.
With fentanyl, yes.
Yeah, we're
Philly, fentanyl.
Martin's a square like you.
Yeah, but he came from
growing
Philly,
up,
though.
growing up in peer
It's good.
pressure.
Yeah, I grew up in North Philadelphia,
Okay.
and yeah, I mean, most of my friends and family are still back there.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm proud of it. And unfortunately, the biggest name we had out of North Philly was
Will Smith?
Cosby.
Oh. I thought
Yeah,
it was
Will was West Philly.
West Philly. Okay,
Yes.
thank you. West Philadelphia, born and raised.
Yep, you got it.
On the playground.
Don't sing the rest of the song.
I'm
you're
sorry.
fine.
Yeah, please don't.
I'm good.
We're all good.
Okay. All right. Yeah, Bill Cosby didn't turn out very well. And
No.
now Will kind of made a mistake, but I still don't think
Martin,
Will.
you're Philly's last
I
hope,
still-
Martin. You can do this. No pressure.
I still understand Will Smith's slap though. I still get it.
Yeah, I get it too. It's just unfortunate. that
Yes, it
happened.
is. Yeah, I know it sucks. I think about that all the time. Anytime I see one of his movie posters, I'm like, oh fuck Will, because he doesn't post anymore.
Yeah.
You don't see his Instagram going off.
Right, yeah.
His YouTube channel hasn't done shit, and it's like, fuck.
Embarrassed.
His shows have been pulled.
Yeah, and it's like, fuck, Will, no, fight. You got to fight through this shit somehow. Just hang in there, bro. Louis C.K. is still fucking doing stand-up comedy. He's got millions of people right now doing his comedy, even though he got fucking backlash with the
That
Me
was so
Too
dumb,
stuff.
though. That
And
was
it was
dumb.
stupid. Why? Because he asked me again, can I pull my dick out and jerk off while you're... And they were like,
But he
oh yeah,
didn't-
sure. And they said
But
yes,
he didn't
but
touch anybody.
no, he didn't. But he felt it was right to call himself out, and he did, and said, I didn't think of the power or the, that I had being who I am to these other females, and they felt obligated maybe to say yes. Did they really?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I mean,
I could say
I
no
feel
to
like you're
fucking all the
perfect-
stuff. I never fall for peer pressure. So how could they? Why did they do that?
You could easily look at any relationship you've ever been in. You can have a conversation with the person that you are physically with, married to, whatever, and say, "I'm sure that somebody at one point in your life you've made a sacrifice that you really didn't want to make, but it's like, I'll take one for the team."
Yeah,
today."
but if you love somebody, it's different. You can do
Is
it
it?
that
Aaron
way.
has never
Yeah.
done any
Oh.
of that.
he's never
Let me just
he's
tell
never
you.
he's never taken one for the team.
Probably
You're-
not. No,
you're full of
no,
shit.
no. Okay, tell me when.
Oh.
Go ahead. Answer that.
Unlike Aaron, I actually know him, and his compared to
Okay,
his
so
what he
let's hear
remembers
it.
from me. So in 19,
Oh,
no, I'm
with
kidding.
no. I'm not talking about with his other ex-wives. I'm talking about with me.
No, I was actually purposely going deeper than your relationship because I don't have a fucking answer for you. But I was trying something. Let's just move back on to Martin. Martin, when was the last time you sacrificed for somebody? Get me off for this hot seat here. It's gonna bounce away.
Coming from Philadelphia is an interesting place. I mean, Veterans Stadium, we had a jail in the stadium.
No shit.
What?
Oh, yeah.
What?
No shit.
Yeah.
Just a 6-person jail though for the drunks, right?
Yeah, because Eagles games get very rowdy.
Oh,
Okay, that makes
wow.
sense though.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
We also are
It's like a penalty box almost.
sort of, yeah.
Yeah, you don't get out in 3 minutes.
Yeah. No,
Oh wait, that's hockey, Aaron.
I know.
Okay.
Yes,
I know.
penalty box hockey. Right?
Yeah,
And
He's black.
I do know hockey, though, and I know penalty boxes, and I love the sport.
we're famous for throwing snowballs at Santa Claus. We made an appearance at that
fun.
stadium.
Yeah. If it's Mel Gibson though, don't fuck with him.
And it was probably 10 years ago at this point. Canada was doing this experiment where they were sending a robot around hitchhiking.
What?
And it had gotten pretty much all around the country,
Yeah,
except when it got to Philadelphia.
Oh my god.
That thing was stripped down for parts.
Yeah, that shit was up on
Like a
blocks,
Forrest Gump
you know?
robot. Or what?
Philly don't fuck around. I love them.
Yeah.
They're badasses. They don't fucking play.
It's just a head and a chest piece sitting where the fucking statue from somebody.
How
used
come
to
I
be.
never heard of that? I didn't hear that.
I did
story.
not
That's
either.
Funny.
That's funny.
That's
What'd they do though to the robot?
They
stripped
took it
him for
apart.
parts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need this.
Really, yeah.
Fuck this robot.
He said, "I
this
need
shit."
this."
and Canadians being as nice as they are, they're like, we'll make another one. It's okay.
Yeah, sure.
Dude, that's the best. How long did you grow up there? Before
I was
you left?
there until I was 28.
Okay.
Wow,
27.
Okay.
Okay. And did you come straight here from there?
No, moved to New Jersey, lived on the Jersey Shore,
Okay.
bought a house there, and then my wife at the time came home after we had our son and said that the company she was working for, they have a promotion for her. She doesn't have to move,
Mhm.
but it would be better if she did. So we packed up and came out here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Got it.
And I'm honestly very happy when thinking about raising a child. I'm glad it's out here and not
Oh,
there.
good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
No, that's good.
That's awesome.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's not a bad place. Just make sure that, the coaches don't try to teach their kids about
Racism.
That's right.
Non-racism.
Just to coach track.
You show the kids at home that everybody is racist. That's right.
That's right.
That the potential is there for all of us.
You can hate whoever you want. Damn it, it's okay.
Yeah. Black people can't be racist. It's the funniest thing. It's just
yeah.
like, oh my god.
Has she never seen a Spike Lee movie?
You know, thank you.
Like honestly, even our daughter was rolling her eyes.
That is
She was
the
like,
dumbest,
"What?"
most ignorant thing.
I swear to God, if Eve would have stood up in the middle of that thing and said, "You want, I want to hate whoever the hell I want to hate," and just mobbed off, I'd have
Eva
so
hates
much
everybody.
respect.
You know, yeah, I would too. And I wanted to tell her that, but I didn't. It's like, because I know I want to watch her run track. I mean, it's almost over. She's got the district meet for the city next week. It's done. But so she's holding her mouth shut for a week. But God damn it, next week.
Next week.
If I see this fucking coach, I'm gonna be like, nigga,
She is so
what
bad.
are you talking about?
Just hold up signs with profanity on it.
You know what I mean? Like, really? You don't think black people can be racist?
This
Everybody
coach is
can be
so
racist.
bad.
Sure. No, I'll give her this. I'll give her that. In my opinion, I never looked any stats up. I didn't go to imright.com. I just
Wait,
I'm
you run that
thinking
site?
I'm just thinking that yes, there may be some cultures like white people in general. There may be more white people that might be more racist or more prejudiced
I don't
than
know
other
about that.
cultures because they've had dominance for so long.
Yes.
You don't think that everybody's
Yes, that's- I can-
prejudiced against white people? Because
No.
even white people hate white people.
That's the flip that's happening now. Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know the statistics, but it just you go off a feeling. If you use your common sense, you kind of just start picking up stuff. And that's one thing I like about you too, Martin. On your online social presence, you don't post a lot, but when you do, sometimes it matters. You know,
Sometimes?
yeah, no, it does.
He said only
Sometimes-
Well, because he
posts
only
matter.
posts sometimes. It's like when he does post, it's meaningful. Like I've seen posts of his son Max. You know, I've seen those things. I've also seen certain things he talks about with things that are going on in our culture, in our society, especially during the COVID times and some of the political stuff. And you know, you speak your mind, and I appreciate that. I think it's cool. I think it's cool, man.
That was one of the interesting things about working on a film set, especially one that you're basically in charge of, is you've got people from all walks of life. I mean, I think as artists, we tend to lean a little bit more liberal and empathetic,
Yeah.
but still on our set we had, you know, members of the 3%ers and
Yeah.
but then there was a lot of us who come from military families,
Mm-hmm.
and even several members of the LGBTQIA plus community,
Mhm.
and also some were military as well. So I think so long we ran things like a Masonic lodge. There was no talk of politics. There was no talk of religion. You know, leave those things at the door, and just concentrate on the things that we have in common.
That's how
Right.
I run my
So-
bar.
Sounds like dinner at my
Exactly.
grand- my
Like a
parents' house.
vodka or whiskey.
Yeah.
Or rum.
Yeah. No, that's a good way to do it. It is, because if you focus on the commonalities, you will get along.
Yeah.
We were surprised to see how many people that
we
we
know.
know that were more conservative,
Yeah.
that we would have never guessed
Yeah.
at all until the whole Trump shit
Yeah.
came about, and
Well,
we're,
because
and
if
we're
you're
like,
a smart
what the fuck?
bartender, you do not allow that in your bars. So I never did.
Yeah,
But then I'd find out later through social media that,
Yeah.
oh, this guy is a real right winger.
yeah,
And I never knew. Like,
and I
we
res-
never knew.
right, and we've done a good job respecting everybody for the
Yeah,
most
for
part. There's a
sure.
few people though that are too extreme where I'm like, fuck them, that we knew for a while. You know, I'm just like, oh, fuck those guys. I mean, come on, really, that's too much. That's like them. That's like Jehovah's Witnesses knocking at your door all the time. It's like, Jesus Christ, leave me alone. You know, stop it. Yeah, I got a guy that's still fucking tagging me and shit with all this conspiracy theory stuff because he
really?
wants my opinion because it's another filmmaker.
Oh, really?
And he's like, yeah, you know, I like your opinion because you're more in tune with the mainstream stuff. And I'm like, do me a favor, dude. Don't tag me anymore in this shit.
Yeah.
Please, just don't tag me in this. All right? I'm not your guy. I'm not your audience. Just leave me alone. And he's like, what I thought. And I'm like, no, thank you. I was super nice. What I wanted to say was, motherfucker, leave me the fuck alone.
Sure.
You're crazy as shit. Stop it. All right? There's no lizard people. Okay?
We just lost another listener.
I'm sorry. This shit is not real. It's not real. Stop it.
What's really frustrating now is there's nothing that can convince these people.
Mm-mm. Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. They really believe this crazy shit.
And I hear a lot of the stuff because people who don't really know me or my life, they look at me and I look like a cop. So, you know,
Yeah, you do, actually.
yeah.
Badass. No joke.
So I get a lot of the people who think I share similar views. But I've marched in pride parades. Most of my friends are in the LGBTQIA plus community. My son is Asian, so I'm very in tune with how other people feel.
Right.
And it's nice now that I think filmmakers are putting people of color on screen and investing in that. And then you have the all the people who don't want to see any change, and they accuse us all of being woke and all this. And all that just means is, okay, you're accusing me of being empathetic and inclusive. I'll take it.
Yeah. Sure. Exactly. Isn't it a weird term, by the way, the woke thing?
It really is. Yeah.
It's like, I know there's always extremes on both sides. There are some people that are quote unquote woke that are too much for me, where I'm like, oh my God. I grew up in the 70s and 80s. So it's like, I get, sticks and stones. I don't mind the language. I'm not offended by that. It's like we talked about on our last show with all the terms that you're supposed to use.
Right.
The they, them, and all that stuff. I don't fucking know, dude. Right. I don't know. I'm too old for that shit. I don't know. I'm just going to say, what's your fucking name? Who are you? What is your name? I'll call you by your name. That way I can't offend you, because I don't know you look like a guy. So I'm going to say, hey, man. And if I do that and you get pissed off, that's not my fucking fault. You look like a dude. I'm just using my eyeballs. I don't know you. But if you tell me something about you, maybe your name, I can call you by that. Sure. And we're good. We're good. Then there's no problem.
I'm still screwed. I can never remember everybody's name.
Yeah, you can see me, and if you go, hey, you're a black guy, I'm not going to get mad about that. Yeah, you saw me. You're right. you know what I'm saying? I could be.
You don't act surprised?
Yeah. If I didn't have a dick and balls anymore, but I couldn't do anything about my skin color, if they called me a black dude, I'm like, hey, actually, I'm not black. I'm brown, and I have a vagina. I mean, what am I supposed to say? I'm a them or this? I don't know. Dude, common sense would tell anybody that I'm obviously by someone's perception a certain way, and they can only go off of what they see.
Sure.
That's it. It doesn't mean that they're being mean or disrespectful of what you are. You have to put yourself out there. You have to explain things. I have a hard time trying to explain people how to buy tickets for a fucking movie online. I'm like, you have to buy them pre-order. You have to get them to go to this private event.
They won't be at the door.
Yeah, they're not at the door. Where do I find the tickets? It's all over my fucking Facebook page. You've got to explain yourself to people in order for them to understand.
Go to eventbrite.com to get tickets for the giant.
It's not as easy. So if people want to think that they can just come up with these names that they want to be called and expect people to know, they're out of their mind.
Yeah, and
that's ridiculous.
I mean, I am fine with people with the pronouns and what they want. The hardest thing for me, and this goes back several years, was they, them. Because to me, it was always they is the other.
Right.
And so it was almost like objective. You're not a person, you're a thing.
Right.
But it's taken me several years to understand that, okay, this is what makes them feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
And it's no skin off my nose, it doesn't affect me whatsoever.
And every time they say it, I think of the horror movie Them. That's what I think of. and Kevin what?
Them. They? What was
they
the movie
them.
called?
They them. Kevin Bacon's new movie coming out. They them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a horror movie coming out called They Them. Okay, that's balls. Kevin Bacon's no joke.
He's a Philly guy.
Yeah, he don't give a fuck.
But that still has to go back to you're meeting somebody for this first time. You have no idea how they identify. They should not be offended if you don't know them.
Sure.
Yeah,
that's not fair that somebody gets offended because I can't automatically assume to know what you want to go by.
Yeah, that's not
the hard
fair.
part.
That's not fair. They need to give us a cushion to be able to make the mistake and then correct it. Right. Yeah. And if you correct it, then you're good. If you don't correct it, then they can say whatever they want about that person because that person's obviously trying to be offensive back to them because they're insulting them for whatever reason. Because they could be prejudiced or a bigot or whatever it is.
Or racist or any of the things that we talked about that are horrible in life in this episode.
That's amazing. I don't know. This world gets crazy.
Yes,
it's crazy.
Okay, I'm gonna flip things here for a minute while we wait for our other host to join us.
Yeah. Oh shit. I didn't even know she left.
What are you currently working on? So you finished one thing. What's working next for you?
We're still doing festivals. We've got a couple coming up.
Okay.
But in the meantime, I've been working on 2 short film scripts and the next feature script as well.
Good for you.
Are you staying in the comedy genre? Are you branching out? What are you doing?
It's really interesting. For the feature, I was intending it to be just kind of a dumb comedy again.
Mm-hmm.
But as I began to write it, the story changed, and there were much more dramatic elements involved. So, yeah,
Okay.
it's interesting how that works.
Yeah.
You're gonna come off with like some deep, dark, Robin Williams, old school type movie where you got some comedy mixed into all this drama.
I'm definitely going to try and lighten it up at some parts because, the protagonist loses his family, and that's pretty much the catalyst for the events that happen in the films.
You let the story guide you. That's what I do.
Yeah.
I have no idea most of the time. I have bits and pieces, but I start writing, and I've said this before on the show, you just kind of end up watching the story unfold in front of you as you're writing, almost. It's the strangest thing. If you really think about it, it's weird. Because you think you'd have a plan.
Well, it depends on the writing style. Some
I
people
guess.
do. Some people create an outline before they start writing.
Yes, they do.
But you and I write similarly, where we kind of, the story float. We have an idea of what we want to tell the story for, or we have the idea of how we want the movie to end.
Yeah.
Not the story, the movie. We
Yeah.
know how. We already know it's going to be a movie. We know how it's going to end. And then this is the way the story arc flows. I mean,
Yeah.
I've had movies that went from action to horror.
Yeah.
And I was like, that wasn't my plan.
Yeah. You just watch it happen. You see a situation unfold in front of you as you're writing. You're like, oh shit, that could go right here. And you're like, oh shit. And then you go back like 30 pages. Like, 30 pages ago, I had no idea this was going.
Yes.
I had no clue.
Stephen King writes like that.
I know he does.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And it's exciting because you get to see a movie happen or a story unfold right in front of you. And you don't even know it's coming out of you most of the time. It's weird.
I recently had done, I had a part in a short film, and the actor I was acting opposite with was the producer and the writer. And so when I had questions about the character or what was intended, I, as a writer, would automatically go to her.
Okay.
But in her mind, it was all about what the director saw as her vision. So it was interesting. But I mean, we had just a hell of a lot of fun doing it. And I'm looking forward to when that one comes out.
That's great. That's great, dude.
Well, it's interesting that you say that too, because Aaron struggled with directing Say Goodbye because he thought the first thing I'd ever write would be a horror movie. Because I'm a horror guy.
Yeah.
And the first thing that I wrote was what was going through my heart and my mind at the time, which was everything that was going on in my life. So I ended up writing Say Goodbye.
Which is why you write.
And I don't know how many times he kept looking at me. How the fuck? And this is what he would say. How the fuck am I supposed to do a faith-based film? As a director in my style that I am, he says, how am I supposed to do this? Until he found the way to look at it that made sense to him.
Yeah.
But still, he's always doing that. He's like, how am I supposed to tell the story?
Yeah, it was different, but I did find a way.
Luckily, I'm right there with you, buddy. So we get it.
Yeah, you challenged me though, and that was cool.
That-
I agree. I think it's great.
It was something I was very lucky with in making this feature, having a partner for everything, because Ben has been doing this for years and he has tons of short films under his belt. And so luckily I was able to convince him to do this. And it was great having another set of eyes to see what's going on. And because I was in most of the scenes, unfortunately, and it just gave another perspective to try and get a performance out of an actor. And we've got some great performances out of the majority of our cast. And, we're dealing with some non-actors as well, and they gave great performances. And some of the regular actors, not so much, but that's okay.
Right. Yeah.
It's a learning experience.
Absolutely, it is. Absolutely. That's cool though, man. That's great. You're doing that. What do you think of the film community up here? How are you doing with it? You can be honest. It's okay.
I like that it's active.
Yeah.
I think there are still some folks who see themselves as auteurs and just think film should be one specific thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I know they've gotten on, some groups have gotten on you guys for having different types of guests.
Yeah.
Not specifically film related. And I look at it this way. If someone can tell a story that can inspire or help other people, then that's great. It's a way to go.
Yeah. There's so many, I'm glad you brought that up. There's so many different avenues you can look at creativity.
Mm-hmm.
And it all relates one way or another. If you're listening to our show and you're listening to a musician or
A magician.
yeah, or a magician, and you hear their philosophy and the balls it took them to follow their dream,
Sure. Yeah.
whatever that is, and the steps they took to make it happen,
Mm-hmm.
it relates. It's valuable. You know, and you're right, because I did have a film group give me some shit about some of the things I was posting for our show in their group. And I fought it because it's fucking valuable. I mean, it really is. And I mean, I don't see anybody else posting fucking shit in your fucking group. All right. So why would you give me shit for trying to share things that I think anyone, I don't care if it's one fucking person, can get something out of it. You know, you could listen to the show and hear somebody speak about their life and what they went through to get to where they're at. And that, my friend, can help you.
Absolutely.
And that's it.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
In the show that everybody listened to before listening to this one, because obviously we do these in order, and I'm talking about something that happened that hasn't been put out yet, but is going to be out soon before this one comes out. So everybody that you just listened to the last one about with the magician,
Yes.
he tells his story, and he tells a story. If you're paying attention as the business side of show business,
Yes.
and you're paying attention to what he's telling you everything you have to do to make it, to make yourself push yourself in the right direction for the business side of this.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And he is not on show business.
No.
But he did get to touch Heidi Klum.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
And that part, I'm only a little bit jealous.
But he followed his dream and his story was remarkable. If you hear it, and you see how successful he is at doing magic, fucking magic. Like we talked about, like, dude, imagine how hard that is.
And
I
not
mean, people
like,
give us shit for wanting to be filmmakers.
Sure.
And imagine if you go, hey, I want to be a magician. You know how much shit you're gonna get for saying that? Oh my god!
and
people are
not
gonna laugh and tease
not
you.
Chris Angel, not David Blaine.
No.
He's a magician he does kid shows.
Yes.
And he teaches magic to kids.
Yes,
And that's his dream and that's his passion.
and it's his dream, and he made it to America's fucking Got Talent.
That's great.
Okay, my man met Howard Stern.
Wow.
Howie Mandel. He was up on stage on the show. You know what I mean? He fucking made it. Made money. That's what he does for a living.
And he used America's Got Talent to jumpstart
His
career.
His career. And it's like, man, okay. So if this guy can do magic and make it work, a filmmaker can do the fucking same thing.
Sure.
A musician can do the same fucking thing. A painter can do the same fucking thing. A writer. Doesn't matter. It's all the same. It's all the same.
One of the big things about, I'm a big magic fan and go to a lot of magic shows, things like that. And one of the most important parts of a magician's performance is the pattern.
Right.
You know, what they say. They tell a story. They
Mhm.
bring you from one trick to the next. And I think for anybody who wants to tell stories, it's important to see how other people do it as well.
Right. That's exactly right.
Yep.
Yeah. Amazing shit. Yeah, I don't know.
Did we break Sam?
I don't know where she
Did
went.
I mention? She says, "Oh, I have to use the restroom." But she's done. You haven't been offensive unless I offended her.
I don't know.
I've been trying.
No, you did fine. No, I don't know where she is. She disappears sometimes.
I'm dragging my feet. I thought we were playing a game.
I thought we were gonna play a game too.
Oh wait, fuck! It's hide and seek. I'll be right back.
No, it's yeah. The community up here for the most part is solid. I mean, nothing's gonna be perfect. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be perfect. There's always gonna be something that's kind of weird. I try not to focus on that. I talked about that before. You know, we are so, as people, able to just focus on the negatives and forget about all the positive stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's so hard to remember the good things. And there's a lot of good things up here.
Yeah.
A lot of good things and a lot of good people. You know, there are a few that are fucking stupid that we end up talking about more than the good shit. And I'm trying to change that. I don't know if I can though, but I believe it inside, and that's why I keep doing it.
There's also lots of goodness in the people who can't get past their own opinion.
Yeah.
That I believe. And because
Yeah.
I've talked to people who I see their social media presence and I'm just like, and then I have a conversation with them. I'm like, I'm sorry, I owe you an apology. I thought you were kind of an ass.
Yeah, you got to learn about them, right? And that's why we even invited the admin guy for one of those groups on the show. So we can actually get to know him as opposed to whatever his social media presence shows.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, because honestly, he's a fucking dick.
Mm-hmm.
Online, he's a dick.
That's okay.
He's a
Aaron's,
fucking dick.
and Aaron's an asshole. So,
Yes,
that's
so
why
it's perfect, yeah,
we've got
yeah.
these two things that are so close
Yeah,
to
dick
each other.
and an asshole.
We're trying to get them to know
Yeah.
each other a little
Yeah,
better.
but I guarantee you,
Joining that place.
if he gets on this show, that we'll probably be just fine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that's all it takes, and that's why we invited him. He hasn't. I think he is. I think he's almost there.
I
think he's almost there.
I try not to follow those because
I know.
Sam gets upset if I open up an email and she can't go back and read it.
I think we're close. But I think it's important for people to see, you know, how How even though your perception can be one way about somebody, if you actually sit down and have a one-on-one in person, not over this fucking phone or computer or social media.
That's definitely one of the
Yeah.
problems with today's culture with social media.
It is.
It's the anonymous nature of it.
Mhm.
And if you, the way the algorithms work is they will try to put people and stories in front of you who agree with your point of view.
Correct.
And that's not good.
No, it's not.
It just promotes that tribalism that will never move forward
Absolutely.
as a species.
Yeah, the dividing. It's just dividing everybody all the time. And it's too bad. It's too bad. Because I want to talk to this guy so bad. I want to talk to him in person so bad.
Yeah, and you're not
Because he
doing-
thinks I'm a fucking dick. And I'm like, yeah, but that's my online persona. You don't know. You have no idea. You have no idea. I can handle it. Trust me. You're good. You're probably good too.
You
As long
say-
as you don't do a beer stand or whatever it's called. If you do one of those cake stands, I'm out. Yeah, if he brings a keg when he comes to the show, I'm out.
He's not gonna bring a keg. I see him bringing like a very expensive bottle of wine.
No
Well,
way.
if he brings the keg, that's
Yeah,
points for him. Yeah.
Yeah, he leaves it here. If he tries to get me to a cake stand, I'm out. I'm like, no.
Wait, you want him to leave the keg here? Then you have to one more thing you have to try and get rid of in a house where somebody likes to save everything.
No, I can drink it though. I'll drink the cake. I don't give a shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll go up to the street and drop it off at Goodwill and leave it there.
But if you get rid of something, you find out you need it the next week.
Right.
So that's why.
Shit, I wish I had that keg.
That's why I'm hanging on to a fucking car. I'm hanging on to a car that doesn't run, doesn't do shit, just in case we want to blow it up in a movie one day.
Right.
There you go.
Exactly.
I mean, in the meantime, I'm sitting there, blowing off my driveway, and I got a pile of shit underneath this car. I'm just like trying to get everything up from underneath it.
It's like
Sorry,
I was a
personal
little
problems.
nervous when they heard that you were going to be editing the giant octopus.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, I've never seen an octopus hold a gun or have explosions. That's gonna be cool. I'm on board.
If you notice, one of the octopus, it is missing part of an arm. So, that's Aaron for you.
That kind of gives it away, though.
It's fun. It's fun. I know. Yeah.
No,
Have like
no octopus were harmed in the
8.5. Yeah, you
making
have
of this
8,
movie.
9 millimeters in every fucking hand, shooting underwater. Fucking shark coming at him. He's blasting that fucker. Be badass.
It's the last documentary Sam lets you edit.
I know. All in slow mo. See the bullet cartridges flying out of it underwater. Badass.
Aaron's made the comment on the show once in a while, and it's what's funny because between making the giant Pacific octopus and working on Say Goodbye before we went on a big hiatus,
Yeah.
he was complaining about how big his vagina was getting because of having to do all these lovey, wonderful things.
Yeah.
He just wants to go blow something up.
Yeah, I want to kick some ass. And
So-
something be cool. Yeah, some cool stuff.
Hence, making the shape in
Yeah.
the middle of everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Give Aaron a little bit of an outlet.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh, okay, so this was to renew his man card. I understand.
Yeah.
I think so. I don't know. It just felt right.
Okay, let's
felt right.
let's talk about. Okay, there's no chicks in the room, so let's just be guys for a second.
Oh,
so
shit.
Let's talk about some fun stuff. I
Okay.
have to figure out how to have a conversation with my wife because I need to have a woman come over, put on a dress, and show me where her nipples are so I can cut the dress appropriately so that we can put this thing on YouTube.
Okay.
But I don't want to show off too much of her, but I want to show off enough of her to where it's like, okay, wow.
Okay.
So-
you want to do that before in pre-production?
I need to do that in pre-production.
Okay.
So I'm quite asking two guys here, how do I have a conversation with my wife about having this woman come over so we can mark where her covered parts will be?
If I was Sam, I'd be like, hey, she's coming over and we got to cut her dress up to make sure her tits don't show. And Sam would
Her
be like,
nipples
okay,
don't
cool.
show. Her tits can show all they want. You just can't show nipples.
Yeah. Yeah, we can.
Well, not if we're going to put it on YouTube and not and have it
Oh,
available
yeah,
for everybody.
I guess that's true.
This guy, I swear to God, he does the editing, but he doesn't think of the censorship.
I mean, some nuance.
Editing's important. I mean, our first cut of the movie was 3 hours, and then so Ben had to go back in and take out all my full frontal nudity and got it down to 100 minutes. It's great.
We're still 100 minutes.
It happened. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to see you're that brave.
Yeah.
That's that takes a lot.
Well,
Especially,
like I said, it's a comedy.
yeah, especially for guys in today's society. Full frontal all the time.
Just all you got to do is ask the actress to come over here, and then you tell your wife, "Hey, I got to go to Aaron's stuff. We're working on pre-production for the Shape Part 3, and then we'll just get it done." You don't have to say anything
I
more.
realized that. I was
Oh.
just having a conversation
I'm just
for
saying.
fun
I'm just saying.
in this.
Yeah, just have her come over here, unless you just want her to come to your house.
No, that has nothing to do with it one way or the other.
Sure. It does.
No, however, doing those types of things, it's like if I'm, we have had scenes that we have filmed in our movie making career that my wife has been on set for. She's been in lots of our stuff, so she's been on set for, but she's been on set for things that she wasn't involved with. And I don't know if it was because of the person that was on set with us, or if it was just happened to have been her schedule for the time frame. So I'm just like,
Gotcha.
How many conversations do I need to have and prep with the wife compared to just working and doing what we do?
Yeah.
Because honestly, Aaron has said this on the show after being an actor in something that I was on set working on. And when I'm doing this, I have no weird thoughts, weird feelings. I am just it's
You're
just work.
working.
It is fucking work. It's
Yeah,
like, here, let's go.
Yeah.
Does that work? And you have just tape and want to make sure that thing doesn't move. Okay, great, perfect.
Yeah.
Do that there. Okay, and really, they're that big? Okay, fine.
He's all over the place. No, but you do a lot. No, I give you that. I know your mind.
My point being is that yes, I do a lot of work. I always do a lot of work, but
Yes.
it's that my mind is never going in a weird direction.
Right. Yeah.
So why is it always assumed that it is? Because I do this every once in a while.
Correct. Yeah.
Drop the voice.
Because you're
and
creepy.
Get in there a little bit.
Yeah, Martin, the first time I met Chuck, I had female friends that first time they met Chuck, they were like, I don't know about him.
He has a wife who said that about me.
Yeah, he's a little weird.
Or,
Yeah, I get a creepy vibe from him, and that's why. That was like 30 years ago.
it's like,
And that's what did it for you.
And it just
this
stuck.
is the friend for me.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved it. I'm like, yeah, that's badass. I
and
love
these are the same women who also came up later in life and be like, Chuck's always got our back.
it. Yeah,
Whatever we need, whatever's going on. Yeah,
they got to learn. They just got to learn. Their first impression of you is right. It's kind of like social media. The first time they meet you, it's like social media profile. They just get creeped out until they meet you.
right.
You know,
They're
and
really creeped out. Right, yeah, gotcha.
great stuff. All right, man. Well, you make movies.
Yes, sir.
We got to make one with you one of these days.
absolutely.
That would be a ton of fun.
It would be a ton of fun. We'd have a blast. You know we're here for you, buddy. You know
Sure.
we network and we know we collaborate with everybody.
And I'll wear the dress, and you can cut it off any way you'd like.
Are your nipples off to the side, or are they kind of like central? Or just,
Depends on the time of day.
Oh man, I swear to God,
Hey, it happens as you get older, all right?
I thought it was a joke. I was talking to my buddy one time I used to work with, and we were talking about something, and he was like, God, my nipples are hard. He's like, almost in his armpit. I'm like, what the fuck? You doing? He lifts up his shirt. His nipples, no shit. They're all the way on the side over here. I'm like, everybody's a little different.
That's so bad.
So wouldn't that be weird if the nipples are like way off to the sides and we're like showing a whole boob? And it's like, well, the nipples are covered.
Yeah, that's not good.
I'm just thinking about chafing if they're over there.
That's
Man,
really
that
bad too.
sucks.
Yeah, that's like Chuck's balls.
They don't chafe.
Yeah, they go. Until you have the right one on
They're
the right
just
leg
calloused.
and the left one on the left leg. You know, you just kind of spread them out between your pants legs.
I'm sorry. That's pretty accurate, actually.
I thought so. Oh man. All right.
Well, shit.
That's
okay,
good stuff.
Sam's not coming back, so okay.
I think we're good. I think that's our show. Martin, it's been a pleasure though.
Thank you guys for having me. I really
Absolutely,
appreciate
brother.
it.
No, it's good stuff. Where can say one more time where people can find your film?
Sure, you can find the film at 67films.com. That's 67films.com. And if you're interested in any of the nonsense I say, I'm on Twitter at KeyportCrooner, and also on Instagram as well, and Facebook and all that stuff. So,
Badass. All right. Keep making movies, brother.
you too, guys.
Let's do it. Yeah. Keep writing. Especially keep writing. That's good stuff. I love the writing portion of it. It's my favorite.
You're playing God.
You are.
Yeah.
You are. And
don't
you don't
tell
need
him
anybody
that.
else. You don't need anybody else around you.
And there is nothing more satisfying than writing words on a page and expecting it to come out a certain way, but your actor elevates it and brings it into a whole new place. It was tough for me to be in scenes where that was happening and for me to stay in character because I'm just, oh, yeah.
You're so
yeah,
excited. I know. It's the best feeling. It's the best.
Chuck, you forgot your line. No shit.
I know.
But I'm having fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm the writer. That's a rewrite. That's
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, you missed your mark. No, I didn't.
It's one of the best experiences when you're making these things. To see that happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is. It really is. It's amazing. I know Chuck just felt that not too long ago, even with the table read we did.
Oh yeah, I love table reads.
Yeah,
and
it's
auditions
fun.
and
It's
stuff.
just fun when you see people get so engaged in what you wrote and bring it to life that way.
How was the experience of doing a table read on Zoom?
Oh, they work great.
It was cool.
Yeah. I think we finally figured it out the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of times where you get this kind of weird pause in between stuff because people don't know if the narrator's going to read this narration or not.
Like
between
even
the
in
lines.
between lines and everything, all that kind
Yeah.
of stuff too.
So we had decided to just read the fucking script, word for fucking word, and pick a narrator who's going to read it so everybody stays in tune. So the whole story is kind of told right there. And that worked great. So I recommend to do that because then you don't have these weird pauses. And
Did you
people
see
talking over each
anything
other.
that you needed to change after doing
Not yet. No.
Really?
No. And that's what's cool. So far as action or the actors go with certain action elements of it, yeah, you know that on a table read they're not going to feel it as well as they do when they're on set.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but for the most part, stories flow pretty well when you're doing those things that we've experienced, and we've done quite a few now.
Yeah, and
So-
like Aaron just posted little snippets from. I'm so afraid to use the word tidbits anymore now. Thanks.
Oh, sorry.
He posted snippets from Chapter 3's table read that we did.
Snippet is much better.
Yeah. Anyway, so
tidbits.
little snippets from from Chapter 3's table read, and that was the whole thing. And I can't remember if that was one of the snippets you put in there or not. That's me telling everybody. It's like most of the people who are in it we've worked with before or have been part of the story, and it's like, obviously we know this is going to be the emotional part of it, and it's not everybody's there at the table read because it's even though it's serious and professional, it's also a little bit more of a fun environment, but also at the same time it's like 8:00 at night, everybody's at home, their kids are going to bed, all these kinds of things, and so it's not that emotional. And then I realized watching everybody do everything, first of all, don't pick Aaron as a narrator because then you just have to listen to his voice the entire time.
Yeah.
Especially when you have a lot of action sequences.
Yeah. That's why I wanted to do it. That's cool.
But realizing it's like I realized as being the writer and director for Chapter 3, I realized in talking to everybody and watching them do other stuff, I was like, wow, I've put them all into physical emotional roles.
Yeah. So you did
With
learn
all
something
their
from the table read as
Right.
as the writer.
Right. So it's
Okay,
like,
yeah.
You really are going to be sitting there watching these people have to, dive into each other as physically as they're going through all these things.
Yeah.
And having a table read where everybody's separated, it's different. It's like, I have two actors who are engaging in one scene and they're like, face to face, and one's trying to console the other, and on the screen there's like one over here and one over there.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different, obviously.
Yeah, but what you learned is something that you need, that now
Yeah.
for when we're on set filming. And that's the beauty of those reads, just to be able to feel it, and not just read it. In your head, you can make up the exact things all the time when you're reading it yourself, right? But when you see the other actors doing stuff, it pulls you out of your brain and you're watching them. And then exactly what you're going to have to do when you get on set.
And that's one of the things.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
That Aaron and I figured out too is if you have somebody who has a small part, or if you have somebody who doesn't have a speaking part in your movie, ask them to narrate. If you are the writer or the director, don't read the script.
Yeah.
Don't keep your eyes down. Watch what everybody's doing. Watch how they're doing what they're doing, and acting and everything else, and listening to what's going on. So, for the first two, I was the narrator. That's why I made the joke for Aaron reading the third one, which was mine, because on set, I'm just the guy on set. I wasn't actually verbalizing. I wasn't acting or any of that kind of stuff. So, that's one thing I would suggest for a table read. If you don't have somebody to narrate, bring in somebody just to narrate for you.
Yeah,
Just
it's a good
Don't
thing.
be the person who's talking. Watch everybody, absorb everything. Doing it on Zoom's nice. You can record it and you can go back and watch it again after.
Correct.
I've watched ours twice now.
Good for you.
Man, we had like a half-hour banter before we got started.
Well, when we don't. Yeah. But still. Yeah, Martin, if you need to do one, dude, I recommend doing it.
Okay, cool.
It works good. It does. And it gets everybody to get together too. That camaraderie, if everybody starts chatting within themselves too. When they get on set, they already know each other.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
No,
if they haven't
absolutely,
worked
yeah.
together before, and it kind of eliminates that element, which can save time.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's focused, everybody's comfortable. I mean, those kind of things help. That's kind of how we kind of looked at it. The read's a read, but I'm glad you got something out of it though, Chuck. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's always,
Badass.
if you're doing things and you don't get something out of it, then you weren't paying attention to what you're doing.
Correct.
That's a great point.
Yeah, it's good stuff. All right then. Well, Martin,
gonna
thank you, buddy.
Take my snippets out of here.
Yeah, take your snippets. And we'll go. And just remember, black people can't be racist. That's the theme of this show.
Please, just don't. Black people can't be racist with Martin Lewis.
Yeah,
no,
the
let's not.
whitest guy
let's
in
not-
America.
Let's not. I don't know.
Straight from Philly,
Well,
Martin
yeah.
Lewis.
The argument for whitest guy in the room is even up for grabs.
You might be a balance there.
Um,
Close us out, Chuck.
Yeah, no, Martin, thank you for joining us down around the reel. Thank you for talking to us about your life growing up and going from North Philly to the Jersey Shore to the Pacific Northwest. Thank you for pointing out to everybody that this is a good place to live, even though the cost of living is high, the education is good, and it's always a great place to raise your kids.
Yes.
It's a good challenge to get into the filmmaking industry up here. There are good people up here, though, to work with. I know because I'm sitting in the room with a bunch of them. So thank you for joining us today on the show. Thank you for sharing your parts of your life with us. And remember, everybody out there, think hard, because because you're thinking anyway, as we go find out where Sam went.
All right. See everybody later.
Thanks, fellas.
All right.
For those of you that want to be a guest on Around the Reel, please email Sam at aroundthereel253@gmail.com.
That's aroundthereel253@gmail.com.
Not Messenger. Do not message Aaron on Messenger, because then he has to send you a message that says email Sam at aroundthereel253@gmail.com.
That's aroundthereel253@gmail.com.
How come they can't just message me again?
Because nobody wants to fucking talk to you.
Can anybody reach out? That's an artist, filmmaker, actor?
If you're an artist of any kind, we want to hear from you.
But we are going to vet the crap out of you.
We don't care if you make millions of dollars in Hollywood or if you're just beginning your career in the art industry. We don't care. So everybody that wants to be on Around the Reel, yes, we want you.
That's aroundthereel253@gmail.com.